Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm weaving up some fabric so that I can sew it into an apron. I'm using iWeave software here to work out how I'm going to weave and what colours that I'm going to weave with. This will be a plain weave project, but using colour and weave techniques to create the dotted fabric that I'm looking for. Here I'm just working out what the apron's going to look like, how the pieces are going to go together, and how wide and how long that my piece of fabric needs to be to sew into the apron. Allowing for draw-in, take-up and shrinkage, I've worked out that my fabric needs to be 80 centimetres wide and my warp needs to be 1.8 metres long. The yarn I'll be using today is 8-2 cotton, and I'm going to be doubling this in a 12.5 dent reed. I'm not entirely sure why I do this to myself, but every hole in the reed is a different colour across, I think I did 9 colours or 10 colours, and then repeating those 10 colours again. Because there's a different colour in every hole and then the white in every slot, this actually took me just under 7 hours to get warped up. Probably the longest I've ever taken to warp up my loom, and also because I've done 80 centimetres, so the entire width of the loom. But yeah, it's worth it. It's so beautiful. After I've knotted each warp thread on the back rod, I like to trim them off so that they're just about 1 inch long. This really helps with bulk on the back apron rod when you're winding on, and therefore helps with your tension. Finally finished, and oh, look at that colour. I just love it. Aussie intermission time. About 3 hours north of Brisbane is a beautiful beach called Rainbow Beach. Can you guess where I got my inspiration for this fabric from? Here I am combing out all of the threads in small groups, trimming them so that they're the same length, and knotting them, trying to get the knot roughly in the same position for all my little groups. Then I lash on using some scrap yarn and just make sure that the tension is even across the whole warp. I'm using just the white as weft, and that's really making all of these colours pop. I just love how it's looking so far. I've just noticed that I've got a fairly large skip in the warp due to a loose warp thread, so I'm just quickly fixing that now. At the end of wet finishing, when the fabric is dry, I'll just trim them off. Finally, it's time to cut the fabric off the loom, and look at that. The fabric feels and looks amazing. I'm so pleased. After washing and drying the fabric, I pinned it up on my dress form just to make sure that what I was going to cut off for the straps and for the little bib at the front was going to be fine. In the end, it actually turned out that it shrank a lot more than I thought it would, so that the bib section is a little bit smaller than what I thought, but it ended up working out good. After I pinned where I was going to cut for the straps and for the bib, the other side of the fabric, the other end, I zigzagged along the edges, then trimmed off the excess where the knots were, and then hemmed that edge. I then zigzagged either side of where I was going to cut for the straps and the bib section, and I used a weft pick as a guide, both as to where to zigzag either side and also where to cut. I then folded over both edges on the straps. They had already been zigzagged, and then sewed them down. I didn't actually hem them properly and roll the hem, and I think that this will probably come back to bite me at some stage, but I just did want that wider strap on both sides. I pinned the straps where I wanted them on the dress form, and then worked out how wide the bib part was going to be, and then trimmed up that. I also measured where I wanted that to go on the actual body of the apron. I then did 2 rows of stitches along where the apron body connected up with the bib part, because I thought that would be a stress part on the actual fabric. I then hemmed the top of the bib, ready to attach the strap. Lastly, I attached the straps to the apron using the cross at the back, and I actually did that crossed box sewing technique because I thought that would be a stress point on the garment. But yeah, that's it, done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this journey as much as I did. If you did, please consider subscribing. And also, if you found this video helpful, please click the like button because that will help others to find this content as well. Thank you so much. Have a great day.